All right, so at this time, we are well.
You are now listening to CTR Media Network.
What up, family? CTR Media Network. Yeah. Best in the biz. Yeah. Join the team. CTR is who we are, the media network, that's the best by far. Whether you listen at your home, make your job in your car. Come get the information that's needed above all, never lasting. Motivational podcasting, giving you the answers to the questions that you're asking. Serious talks and topics, how to come up and profit, how to better yourself, your health, and see if we
The podcast on CTR Media Network.
That's me. I'm so happy to be here. Thanks to her, my podcast is doing great.
to 350 million, they tuning in. We in 50 different countries, we all can. And like-minded, find your purpose and your assignment. Come get your fix, your feel, your mental alignment. Get active and speak to the masses. Build your influence, all levels and all classes. Now you know you can monetize and grow. CTR Media Network, start the show. CTR Media Network. CTR Media Network. CTR Media Network. CTR Media Network. CTR is who we are. The media network, that's the best by far, you know. CTR Media Network. CTR Media Network.
CTR Media Network is now accepting new podcasters to join our growing network that's reaching 350 million global listeners. Have you heard? CTR Media Network offers podcast production, podcast training, distribution, and product placement. Book us for your next event or schedule an interview with CTR Media Network podcasters today. To learn more, go to ctrmedianetwork.com. Good morning. This is Dr. TNJ Ramsey, the CTR Media Network live stream host, baby. I hope that you're having an amazing Tuesday. On that note, it's amazing, wonderful, fantastic, phenomenal day. Yes. Today's phrase of the day is, I am fierce. So if you're feeling a little inadequate today, I want you to understand how amazingly awesome you are and how you can go into this world and present your best foot forward. Never give up, okay? Never give up. And so for those of you who don't quite know what's going on, this is the CTR Media Network live stream by CTR Media Network. Our network is all about sharing impactful motivational content to help you grow. We have a variety of different podcasters from all over the world. Yes, I said it. All over the world. And we'd like for you to let us know where you're tuning in from because we see you in the audience. So yes, we live, baby. So go ahead and type in the chat. Or I would say the comments, and let us know where you're tuning in from. For those of you, we have some opportunities for you. For those of you who would like to co-host like I'm doing right now on any of our podcasting shows that offer these opportunities, reach out to ctrmedianetwork.com and we will put you on the list. I would say we will consider you to make sure that you're a right fit for the show. For those of you who have products and services and all the good things in between, and you would like to have a platform to maximize your visibility, because CTR Media Network reaches 350 million households worldwide, baby. We on Roku, radio, podcasting, magazines, TV, online TV, and more. So come on over to be a featured guest on any of our shows. How can you do that? You just simply go to ctrmedianetwork.com, select or click the logo of the podcast show that tickle your fancy, and fill out the register to be a guest. We are currently accepting commercial placements on our show. Yes, we will be featuring your commercial, or we can audio, like for right now, if I had your commercial, I could read your commercials and tell people how to connect with you. So don't be dismayed if you do not have a visual commercial right now, because we can literally make a commercial for you, audio, and I can share how people can get in contact with you. So if you would like to do that, which I know that you do, because every business needs to maximize their visibility, go ahead to ctrmedianetwork.com and click the contact us portion of the website, and we can get you going. We have so many new and amazing shows that are coming your way. Yes, that are coming your way. 2024, with God's help, is going to be absolutely amazing. We're so excited about the new podcasting shows. So what platform do we absolutely love what we do? We want to give a shout out to StreamYard. We're going to do this commercial and we'll be back in a moment. Yes. Make sure to click our link. Yes, we're going to drop it in the chat. Click our link so you can join the movement with us with StreamYard. And we're going to be dropping some information about some other platforms that is amazingly awesome for podcasters. And if you are a business and you offer streaming services and you would like to collaborate with CTR Media Network and would like for us to share what you do with our audience, yes, in the technology industry of podcasting, then the only thing that you have to do is reach out so that you can partner with us. We are currently accepting partnerships of 2024, baby. All right, on this note, we're going to take a commercial break from our sponsors, and then after that, we are going to get started with our CTR Media Network live stream. So thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure to like, follow, share, and subscribe, and make sure to not miss this opportunity to elevate your presence by becoming a featured guest on any of our podcasting shows. We absolutely love spotlighting you. So before we go, I do want to show or share with you what the Millionaire Maker had to say about the Tina Ramsey show. And then we're going to show our sponsor, and we're going to connect you with our current broadcasting show, which is the Kim Jacobs Show.
Hello, my name is Dorothy Cook, Dr. Dorothy Cook, better known as the Godmother and the Millionaire Maker. Why? Because I make millionaires. And I am on the Tina Ramsey Show. I'm so excited. I hope you'll be excited too. Tina got it going on. You need to have it going on. The Tina Ramsey Show with the Millionaire Maker. Join us.
Our CTR Media Network sponsors. A special shout out to our corporate sponsor, Sheree Moore of SheTrucking.com. SheTrucking.com is committed to helping women and minorities establish and maintain successful careers in the transportation industry. So if you want to know how you can become the next trucker or join the transportation industry, contact SheTrucking.com and join their free Facebook community with over 30,000 women ready to help and support you on your journey. Check them out at SheTrucking.com. Thank you to our CTR Media Network sponsors. To learn more about our sponsors and CTR Media Network, go to ctrmedianetwork.com.
You know,
well, you inspire many of us. You
but
do so much. You bring
it
so
just
much to the table.
I don't know. I because of my situation, I consciously chose not to have children because I didn't want to pass on, this particular situation I have with my immune system to someone else.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that doesn't mean that my first godson, he couldn't say his G's. So my nickname was Odd Mommy Injure. And at first I thought, oh, that's not too good. But then the more I embraced the fact of being odd mommy, because
Yeah.
then, there's also value in that, in the fact that, it's who I am.
It's who you are. It's who you are.
Yeah. And sometimes, and it's getting more and more difficult to find people to accept you for who you are,
Yes.
because
Yes,
because of all this clutter of information.
Mhm,
And
mhm,
don't get me
mhm.
wrong. I mean, I think information is very, very important. And you and I, we discuss this. We feel very fortunate that we're still thirsty for information.
Absolutely.
And I think that's something that, is one of the gifts of being a human being, is to be inquisitive and to, gather information.
Exactly.
But then, like anything else, too much is too much. Excuse me.
Exactly. And having the wisdom to know when enough is enough. All right. Well, we're going
There's
to
an old,
close.
there's an old saying, excuse me, Italian saying, enough is enough, too much is just plenty. So, and I think that's the basic thing. So I think we've covered that, and we'll be back enforcing it, because we have, Mary and I have come to a very solid conclusion that our banner of cry is too much. It's just, little is more, less is more.
Exactly. Less is more. So what we'll do as we close, we'll have a link to some of the workbooks and the empowerment packets, and in this podcast. So if people
And also, Mary, like we are going to start doing an affiliation, so people can promote our products to other people, but they get a 50% commission
Yes.
when other people purchase it. So,
yes, it's a
and
very
the prices,
generous
I don't think
commission.
there's any price over $9.95, and that one has like 2 30-minute videos and a PDF file to how to write a play.
And you know what's fun is, if you are an affiliate, to reach out and talk about some of these topics to people. It gives you something to focus on. Hey, I just read this. This is interesting. What do you think? And soon we're talking.
Right.
About
and simple, instead of you, like the pecking order, like you come home from work and things didn't go well. Take a breath. Just take a simple breath.
Exactly.
And then say, and how was your day? Very basic. You don't,
exactly.
You don't have to end up feeling guilty.
Exactly.
That's a downer right there.
Exactly. No, we don't need it. But I love these materials because, not because I was a part of it, but I was gravitated towards them because it helps instill us, it inspires us to be creative and to pull back the curtain and look and examine what's really important in our lives.
And realize that you're special,
Exactly.
You don't have to.
Each of us is special.
Yeah, and it's all right to to compare, but not to where the comparison ends up being at your expense.
Exactly.
So anyway, I'm still here. I'm not supposed to be, but I'm still here, and I'm gonna just be kicking until I can't kick anymore. And
Oh, you're doing plenty. It's incredible.
But I feel extremely grateful because of the experiences that I've had. I've gotten some very, very good wisdom.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Which is invaluable. Invaluable.
What was it? Wadsworth said, common sense is not that common at all.
It's not. It's not. All right, Ginge. Hey, it's a joy to connect with you. We're going to do this again soon. And thank you.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Mary. And like just go to our www.car the number 4 kids Inc. and check us out. Check, especially like I said, we just put up 5 new tutorial videos, and we're working on the corresponding empowerment packets. But like we always say at the end of every one of our sessions, let us know what you think. Just write, info@carforkids.com. Let us know. We take everything in a positive manner, because, I'm sure that, that there are people out there that, what are these 2 wild women? What are they talking about? What are they doing? So, but the bottom line, if you don't let us know, then we can't learn. And if we can't learn, we can't provide you with knowledge. So have a good day.
Thank you.
The world is hurting right now, and it's time to rise up. As we lift ourselves up in body, mind, and spirit, we can reach out to others and be a light in a sea of darkness. Welcome to the Movement for Global Health with your host, Dr. Mary Zenit.
Delana Maleva is a passionate and dedicated holistic practitioner. She is known as an expert in sleep and relaxation. She overcame significant health challenges after being misdiagnosed with anxiety. She learned that small but significant changes to her lifestyle helped her manage the symptoms of menopause, and she embarked on her own healing journey. Now, she empowers women to do the same. Diliana was nominated for the Client Care Award for her deep care of clients from the organization Your Holistic Earth. Those that work with Diliana see results often within weeks, with improvement in energy, sleep, and overall well-being. It is truly a privilege to welcome you, Diliana Maleva.
Thank you so much, Marie. Thank you so much.
Let's talk first about your story. You suffered a lot. You had a lot of health challenges. Tell us a little bit about that and what led to where you're at today.
Imagine that this feeling, actually nothing feels worse than you are tired and wired, and your body wants to sleep, your mind wants to sleep, your eyes it's tired, but you cannot fall asleep, and it's already 2 a.m. in the morning. And you cannot figure it out why is that happen when all the day you feel so tired. And I wake up usually in the morning after what going on, and you know that you have a responsibility to go and to face, and you have appointment, you have important things to be done, but you feel so tired, you need a little bit more few hours if you can stay in bed. And then you going through the day emotions, then feel like a walking zombie. You feel like in a dream, never present, and relay the endless cup of caffeine. And in the afternoon, you already want to go back to sleep. In the evening, it's coming, you cannot fall asleep until the early morning. And if you fall asleep, you wake up at least 2-3 times during the night, and sometimes very early, and cannot fall asleep again.
I'm sure many listeners can relate to this. It's such a problem. Now, this started in your 40s?
Yes, I was in early 40s, around 44, and I pushed myself with that job, full-time job in business, and also going here and there, running all the time. I didn't listen to my body. So I started to feel really tired. I cannot figure it out. Why with all my knowledge with health and wellness as a yoga teacher, breathwork teacher, and living with plant-based diet, and don't drink, don't smoke. Why I feel so tired all the time? I cannot really have a good night's sleep. And I didn't listen to my body, what the body tried to tell me, and I just keep pushing, until I keep coming the moment last year, in the beginning of the year, that I was in a crashing fatigue and burnout. I just wasn't able to move. I was in depression. I felt irritable and anxious, of course, and I have these mood swings often. And I start to forget the things. I start to forget my belongings in public places. I start to forget important meetings, and I didn't know what's going on, but I get scared. And also I knew that sleep is related to aging, and if you don't have a good night's sleep, you can age faster. And I didn't want to be in this so fast. And I started to do the research. I decided that I need to start healing, and after being misdiagnosed from the doctors, they just decide that I'm too young to be in the menopause or premenopause. Actually, they don't talk about at all premenopause at all. So I started to do the research and experiment and adjust my own practice, and start to a little bit emphasize have a little bit longer practice with the breath, with the breathing. And I start to feel difference. I start to feel more in peace, more grounded, more connected with my soul. I also discovered some limited beliefs, and I really find with the breath the connection with my purpose, and my also the connection with the universe, and I really start to see the changes happening slowly. It doesn't happen right away in one night, but slowly I start to see some better improvement. And with all my researches and what's seeing in myself, I was drawn to share this information with others. So that I start to create programs, group programs and one-on-one programs to help other women, and most of all, educate them what is possible and how they can find their purpose, power, and passion again, find their control again, and feel like themselves again, fall in love with their body, and see the different perspective going through this challenging period. It's not like it's not the end of the world. It's a period. It can end, and it depends on your lifestyle and how you see how your perspective to how you're going through this, if in more ease, in grace, or more challenges.
Wow, that's such a powerful story. To think of where you were. You were losing things, forgetting things. You were exhausted, completely exhausted.
Yeah, that's feeling that you're not like hopeless, helpless.
Right.
Really, it's terrifying. Yeah.
It is. And that's what I want our listeners to hear, because we talk to people all the time that have such mental health pains. very crippling anxiety, depression, the list goes on and on. No energy, can't concentrate, very hard to function. And what I'm hearing from you is that this was nothing on the surface. There was issues under the surface that needed to be addressed. And you learned a lot. It sounds like the breath work was a lifeline for you.
Yeah, it's a life changing and life transforming. It's really, I discovered that just one nerve in our body system, which is the cranial nerve coming from your brain and to your gut, it's responsible for how you interact with others, with your digestion, but also how you sleep. And also with the proper breathing, you really can achieve deep, restful sleep. It doesn't matter if you have these hormone changes and cortisol high, which is the main, sometimes some of the reason of the sleepless night.
Wow. Let's talk a little bit about breath work. You know, we hear a lot about it, how important it is, but I have a feeling there's some specifics that people need to know. You know, yes, the breathing is extremely important, but can you share some of this with us?
And specifically how you breathe. If you breathe through the mouth all day long, and that's very probable that you're gonna sleep with mouth open, it is gonna affect your circadian rhythm and your natural rhythm of sleep, because the brain is not oxygenated enough. So the brain and the blood cells need to be oxygenated enough. The breath is responsible for pH in the blood. They scientifically researched that actually apnea, it's a lack of oxygenation of the breath. They forcefully type your mouth with using the machine, of course, to be able to sleep and breathe through the nose. But that's its habit and muscle that you can train and learn how to breathe properly during the day, what kind of lifestyle you need to have, how you can rest, so what kind of routine you need to have so you can achieve this deep restful sleep.
Wow. So what you're saying is that people listening, if they are by nature breathing from the mouth, is that they can be trained.
Yeah, that's there's some people who have a problem with the nose, the congestion, they have asthma, they have other issue, but that's something that they really also can learn and train, and that can become a habit and then change everything for them.
Wow. Wow. And you know, you hear so many people today with the sleep apnea.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just not, they're not oxygenating.
Mm-hmm. That's the problem, is just a lack of oxygen. They for that reason they can fall asleep all the time during the day because of this lack of oxygen. And you need to start to use the full capacity of the lungs for our better functioning in general, because the breath also is related to heartbeat. And if you learn how to breathe properly, if you relax, if you train the brain how to stop overthinking and these racing thoughts, and how to fall asleep, you can avoid also a lot of heart disease, a lot of infection, and a lot of so many other things that it's related to lack of sleep and not proper breathing.
Right. Let's talk specifically about breath work. Are there several types of breath work?
Yes, there's many types of breath work. I use specifically the pranayama, which is the yogic breath of breathing. There's also holotropic breathing. There's rebirth breathing. There's, I think, two, three, four more types of breathing. Some of them, some of them use the breathing with mouth open. I'm using the breathing with mouth closed. Some of these techniques also they use more emotional effect of breathing, kind of with they have a specific method to return to the root cause of your trauma, probably, and to release emotions that can hold you trapped in this particular problem. So with fast-paced breathing, you can, and music, you can kind of release the negative emotions and negative what can be stuck in your energy field.
That are stuck, absolutely. That the emotions get stuck in the energy field in the body, and somehow it has to get released. So you're finding the breath work that you're doing is can be very effective for that.
Breath work does mean you control the breath in specific way, and you use this rhythmic or space breath to in most of all the deep breathing. So I most of all use the deep breathing, the three-part diaphragmatic breathing, and actually train the people to breathe more with the belly and pelvic floor than with the chest, because 95% of people of population breathe mostly with the upper chest. And that is also a sign when you're stressed, you start to hold the breath or breathe very fast. So the thing is to breathe slow, steady, and deep.
Mm-hmm. And in our very sedentary society, I mean, we're not using our lung capacity. We're just not. We just, like you say, shallow breaths, not even paying attention, it's subconscious, but it's just, we're not using lung capacity. And then those short, shallow breaths then lead to anxiety. So we're anxious, the thoughts are anxious, and then the breathing is anxious, and it's a vicious cycle.
Yes, actually, using the breath, you are more in the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest and digest, and not so much as majority is in these states and fight and flight or freeze. So most of the time you're in this state, fight and flight or freeze, and you feel threatened because of this stress, chronic stress that you're bombarded from environment, bombarded from electronics, bombarded from the media, and you have our own problems. And all this, how you think you can think about breathing? You just forget to breathe. Really, you take this breathing as something that you have. You all have it in natural, but how you use it and how you actually how you breathe.
Wow. So let's talk a little bit more about breath work. Do you have classes or master classes or training that people...
I have a free weekly classes for the beginners, just to introduce them to begin if they're completely beginners. Even already they practice some other type of breath work on other experiencing some of pranayama, they are yogi, they use the yoga. They still, because I love to combine the styles, I love the combination of the techniques, so they still can learn something.
Oh, that's wonderful. So at the end, we're going to talk specifically about how people can find you and access some of this training. It's invaluable. It's invaluable. And that way it's beginner, it's free, it's not threatening, but it can get people introduced, and then they become more immersed in it.
Yeah, even if they like how that's work, they have a mini course and or more extended course, or just work with me in one-on-one. They have a choices after that. I have workshops also. But let's start with the free weekly classes. I have also Facebook group and a Facebook page, which is called Menopause Support Academy, is my Facebook page. And the Facebook group is Balance Perimenopause and Menopause.
Oh, wonderful. But the Facebook page is Menopause Support Academy.
Yes, they are where I advertise my events, my free events. It's the Menopause Support Academy.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Now, is the breath work the key to help improve the sleep? Because I know you talked about all those problems with sleeping.
I think so. I think it's really can calm the mind and slow the heart rate and also heartbeat, and learning how to activate this nerve that I just mentioned, this cranial called vagus nerve. It can bring you immediately in a relaxation state and bring you in the deep sleep.
Wow. And that's without medication or even.
Yes. I suggest sometimes herbs. I suggest if you want to support yourself, additionally, use kind of more adaptogen or herbs like valeriana. They have chamomile tea, more these natural things than melatonin, because melatonin in long run can bring the side effect also. And you also feel in the morning, again, a little bit dizzy, not so concentrate. And in the long term, it's not, I don't suggest that. It's short term if it's really you need from the jet lag or some night shift job, but avoid in the long term to be, can create dependency. Instead of that, search or you can also ask me if you reach out to me, what kind of herbs I can suggest and what kind of adaptogen. That's something I also teach.
Wow. So what you're saying, just to recap, if anybody missed that, the melatonin is not the best. I know it's used a lot.
Yeah, just avoid if it's possible, because it does the as the hormone replacement therapy, that's the first thing that people will suggest by pharmacy or doctors. The same thing with melatonin is a more famous thing as a supplement, because it's another talk about the artificial melatonin as a pill and natural melatonin, which is the white, the sun white and natural white. And actually, I can teach in my program and courses how actually to have natural melatonin and not artificial one.
Wow. So that's something we've got to have in our notes and follow up with you,
Yes.
Take some of these courses.
Yes, it's important to know. Many people don't know. They simply don't know. They go and buy the melatonin thing. It's help, I can say, for some cases, but how you feel after, it's also questionable.
Absolutely. And it's very popular. I will tell you this. The melatonin is is very popular, but people need to know that they have other options and that just the melatonin is not the best for you.
Yeah, just the melatonin is not the best. Yeah, there's three things like a breath, air, water, food. There's a three things that you can learn how to use it.
Yeah, this is wonderful. Are there other tools too that you teach besides the breath work?
I teach a mindfulness, how to be in the moment, and it also relates to the breath. So how to use the breath as an anchor to be in the present moment to overcome this anxiety. And yeah, mindful movement also, gentle movement. And yeah, I create just wellness balance program for mind, body, and mental, emotional, and physical.
Wow. That, and everybody needs that.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. And not many people talk about it. So thank you so much to inviting me about this topic, to share my knowledge. And yeah.
I'm so happy to, because you have so much knowledge. And like we're talking about, it's not talked about enough. It really isn't.
Yeah, it's a kind of underestimate, overlooked sometimes, the sleep, until you really start to suffer.
Until you're really exactly like you said. I mean, here you were exhausted and you would think you could fall asleep, but you couldn't fall asleep or stay asleep.
Yeah, and then in the next day you're tired again. So that's exhausted. Indication. Yeah, if you sometimes sleep 7-8 hours, if you feel tired in the next day, that means you don't have really deep restful sleep.
And then it leads to the downward spiral, right? You have no energy, you can't focus. And then if you're working your job performance, it's, you're going to have problems. Make mistakes.
Also a relationship that can affect, you can be more not so tolerant and irritable with loved ones. And yeah.
That's right. No, it's a vicious cycle. So what you're saying is get to the root of it, get to the root of it. And what you're inviting people is to take the free weekly beginner classes. Now, those are on YouTube.
I can. I have a YouTube channel for for people to watch the video, but this is live with me every Sunday at 9 a.m. And on Zoom. So, but they need to register. I announce the classes on my Facebook page, Menopause Support Academy. And from there, they can register and join me every Sunday to learn some new techniques or just practice with me. If they want watch the YouTube channel, they can. I also upload there some of the recordings, some of my past classes, which is also the same name as my Facebook group, Balanced Perimenopause and Menopause. Is the same name of the YouTube channel, so they can watch the videos first there. If you like it, then join me in a live session, and from there, if they decide to go in the course or the program, they can do that.
Oh, that is wonderful. And what we'll do is we'll have the links at the bottom of this broadcast. But you have Sundays at 9 a.m. You have a weekly Zoom. Now, is that free?
It's free, yes, for people who really want to start, to try, to ask me questions. Yes, just it's just 30 minutes, not much, just to really tap in how that works and to bring them in the habit, create the habit to practice.
Oh, that's huge. That's huge. That's a very gentle way to get people introduced.
To try, introduce.
Absolutely, and be comfortable. And I mean, this is life transforming. It's
It is. It's nothing worse to try. It's free. It's you're with the guide, with the experiencing guide. There's nothing terrifying. And yes, because sometimes if they try by themselves, sometimes they can lead to hyperventilation if they don't use it correctly. Yeah.
Right. So there's guidance that's really helpful.
Yeah, the better is to start with the guide, with somebody who already learned that and experiencing that. So yeah, that can guide them.
Exactly. Now, if people want to set up a time to talk with you personally, how do they do that?
I give you my Calendly link. They can set up appointment with me, and you can have a chat, coffee chat, and just see how I can help and support them.
Oh, that's beautiful. So you are giving us so many resources here, Dilyana. It's absolutely a privilege and delightful to aid it. You know, you're such a success story to see where you were, right? And how you overcame, and now you're a master. You're really really helping you. And I know people that know you, and they speak so highly of working with you, and you care so much, and the results that they get is that's a testament to you. So thank you.
And everybody can become the same if they are just be committed and be consistent.
Exactly. So there's really light at the end of the tunnel, and there's hope, because I know when you're feeling that way and you're dragging, you feel like there is no hope.
Yeah, I know. I myself feel, oh my God, I cannot see the light, but after a while I see.
That is so awesome. What else, any other tools you want to share with our listeners before we close?
That I want to know that everybody who going through this challenging period of perimenopause and menopause, you're not alone. There's many women experiencing the same. We are in the same boat, and you can go beyond together.
It really is a message of hope. And
yes.
And you're giving people a place to start. It's, you know, it's not overwhelming. Just turn on the Zoom for 30 minutes on Sunday. Now, what time zone is that?
It's very important. Yeah, it's Pacific time. I'm in Vancouver, Canada, which is the same like California time, I think. So,
Yes.
but I think the people in Mountain, in Central, in Eastern can benefit because it's ahead of me, and even also European. It'll be the evening for them, but it'll be also possible
Right.
for them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then tell us again the name of your Facebook page. It's
Menopause Support Academy.
Okay, beautiful. Because we want to give people the links, but we want people to hear it as well. And you're also on LinkedIn. If they type your name.
I'm with my name. They can find me, Diliana Mileva, on LinkedIn and message me there. And whatever they prefer.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right. So, heartfelt thanks.
Thank you for having me.
You're helping so many women, and we get the word out, and you'll be empowered to help more.
You too. Thank you to give me this opportunity to speak out.
It is a privilege. All right, then. So we will have the links below. And once again, our heartfelt thanks to Diliana Mileva.
Thanks to her, my podcast.
We got it. Reaching 350 million. They tuning in.
CTR Media Network is now accepting new podcasters to join our growing network that's reaching 350 million global listeners. Have you heard? CTR Media Network offers podcast production, podcast training, distribution, and product placement. Book us for your next event or schedule an interview with CTR Media Network podcasters today. To learn more, go to ctrmedianetwork.com.
Hey Think Fam, it's your favorite host, Michael Finkley, and you can listen to us on CTR Media Network. Go listen in.
Yes, I just loaded up my paint and sip class on Community, and 5 people have already signed up for it.
What class are you talking about? Yes, which app are you using?
It's called Community. It's an all-in-one app for promoting and organizing local classes. I just loaded up my paint and sip class, and I'm already getting traction.
That's pretty awesome. Can I join your class? Me too. I've been wanting to try paint and sip, but nobody was offering it as a class.
It's called Community. It's an all-in-one app for promoting and organizing local classes. I just loaded up my paint and sip class, and I'm already getting traction.
Through the term of KBBU, we never teach it exactly the same because, like you were saying earlier, it is a Holy Spirit-led business school. So if you are a believer, listen, you can reach us at 855-522-8552, or you can also reach us online at www.kbbullc.com, as well as email us at info@kbbullc.com. And we would love to help you get started. Now, we have 2 courses, Anitra. We have the course which you took, which is the one that we highly recommend for every entrepreneur. And that is usually a 4.5 or either to 6 months course. So about a 4 to 6 month course, and it's about an hour and a half, 2 hours every Wednesday from 7:30 to 9. And we might go over sometimes because, like we said, we are Holy Spirit led. So we have good time, we laugh, we cry. You know, we might get a little offended, but we're going to work that thing out together, right?
Amen.
Yes. But if you are interested, please reach out to us. We'd love to have you. We are having open registration for our next semester course. And then our other option, if you are the kind of person that you just want to get right down to it and you just want to do an individual session, we have strategy sessions for less than $600 a month. So $600 actually, I'm sorry, not even a month, for the whole session, and it's 12 weeks. So whenever it comes to your needs as an entrepreneur, we try to meet those needs either individually or in a group setting, but highly recommend the group setting, right, Nitra?
Yes. Yes, because you have church, you have Bible study, you have it all. You have it all. I'm telling you, but you mostly get encouragement. They don't leave us stuck where we are. They don't leave us hurting. They meet you right where you are. So join.
I appreciate that so much. We really strive hard to give people something that's different from what everybody else is giving. That's what makes us different, is that we do meet our students right where they are, no matter what the business is. Even if you haven't started a business, we want to help you with formulating the name of the company, getting your logos together, your websites, et cetera, and making sure that everything is legal so that you can run a successful business going forward. Amen. All right. So, Anitra, how can they reach out to you if they are interested or in need of some bereavement services, single parent services, homelessness services? How can they reach you, and what areas do you service altogether?
We are, once again, Brotherly Love Community Outreach. Our address is 136-4 Forum Drive, Suite 1240, Columbia, South Carolina 29229. Our phone number is 1-888-842-7568. And if you would like to reach us by email, it's info@brotherlyloveinc.org. That's brotherlyloveinc.org.
Awesome. So we are having this commencement individually. We have already graduated your whole class on Wednesday past.
Yes, ma'am.
And we are so excited. So I just want to say congratulations to you, Anitra.
Thank you.
We are so excited.
Thank you.
You have made it through.
Praise God.
You
and Miss Michelle, I must say this. I have to say this. I thank God because I've always been a procrastinator. Whatever I started, I didn't finish.
Wow.
And so it was kind of tough, at first, because I go to another school as well. I'm striving for my bachelor's of psychology. Wow. So I have another year and a half to go. So I was in 2 schools at one time. So I just thank and praise God that I pushed myself and pushed through, and God, I give God all the glory. I tell you, I'm overwhelmed. Overwhelmed. He gets all the glory.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Yes, ma'am. So thank you so much. And I just want to say that, for our graduates, Anitra, as you already know, there is a package that you'll be expecting in the mail. And we do have some amazing gifts this term. We have a student that actually decided to give a gift to his classmates and his coaches.
Yes.
You want to tell them a little bit about that gift?
Woo.
Lord,
if I'm not mistaken, it was a 4-day trip and 2 round-trip tickets. Am I right?
Correct.
All right. Hey, you can't listen. That was a blessing. And God bless him 100-fold.
Amen. Amen to that. So he gave away, actually, it's 2 trips. You have 2 years to use your tickets. You can take 2 people on the trip, all expense paid. The only thing that we have to pay as coaches and students from this student, amazing guy that you guys will hear from in the upcoming weeks. Only thing we have to pay is taxes. That's it. And if we want to bring some spending money, then we have to just activate our certificates. We just activate them in the next 30 days. Yes, but listen, we are looking at bringing him on as a future coach. We talked about it briefly, but that's something that we're seriously doing, because when we notice that people are really pouring out, they're giving all of themselves, listen, we can definitely find a place for him to serve. here at KBBU.
Amen.
So that's amazing. That was amazing. So you're going to receive a business certificate that you can use at any loan company, any lenders that may ask, have you completed a business school? You can provide that certification. And also we have some KBBU merch. So we got some t-shirts for you guys. Woo!
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And they did arrive the other day. So we're getting
All
ready to
right.
send those packages out. Then we have the coaches that are offering some of their services at discounted rates.
Yes.
We have a new coach that's going to be offering her perfume line and her cosmetics line. I'm telling you, y'all are getting a treat. Like,
and
this
Mr. Aubrey
is
with our
amazing.
websites.
Aubrey with the website, right? I'm telling you, it's just the an abundance that's flowing out. You know, I'm not saying that, you know, I'm sorry for the previous graduates, all the alumni, like, y'all didn't have it this good. But listen, I'm so grateful to have had you in our class. You are an amazing individual. You have really touched my soul. You have really touched my heart. And I mean that in the most sincere way. Like, you have really inspired all of us to keep going with the questions that you've asked and just the encouraging words, the prayers that you have prayed, because we do pray in KBBU and we pray out.
Yes,
so, and we allow the Holy Spirit to do whatever he's going to do while we're there learning about business the way that God wants us to do business.
Yes, ma'am.
But you have really impacted not just myself, but many, many others. So thank you for being who you are, Anitra.
Thank you all.
Thank you and congratulations. Woo!
Thank you. Woo! We make a lot of noise.
Yes, I'm very loud.
Yes. Hallelujah. Yes, ma'am.
Amen.
I love you. I love you so much.
I love you too, Anitra.
She's also my credit repair lady. Thank you.
Oh my God. Yes, I am. Yes, this is it. So KBBU, we're sponsoring KBBU right now, but we do have a credit repair business. If you're interested in getting your credit fixed, we do credit, we do budgets, we do new trade lines, you know, all of the whole nine. I'm a financial advisor, and we also have a nonprofit where we provide speaking engagements to teens and people who need assistance with learning how to, like, maybe coming out of domestic violence situations and, like you say, homelessness, single parents. We provide a nonprofit service to provide credit repair and finance to them as well. So thank you guys for joining us today. Thank you for listening in. Thank you, Anitra. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I am so excited to hear that you're coming back next term. And our next term does open up in August of 2023. I believe it's August the 23rd of 2023. So you can get registered now. Give us a call at 855-522-8552 again. And you can go to our website at Hello, everyone. How are you guys doing tonight? Welcome for another edition of Kingdom Builders Business University Graduation Week. Oh my gosh, it is so amazing. I know y'all probably are like, dang, it's Christmas time, and you know, she's here and she's coming on every single week. And what is she doing? This is all about our 16-week course of graduates that have just graduated on December the 14th, officially in class. But we also have individual graduations because we want to share with the world exactly what they have learned, what they have encountered being in class, as well as to be able to share their business opportunities with you guys. So tonight, we have a special student, Mr. Leon Sistrunk. And Mr. Leon Sistrunk, is one of our students that is actually has organized a nonprofit organization, guys, a nonprofit. So let me bring Leon up. I'm sorry, my screen just froze. So let me just make sure that I can bring him in. Hold on one second, Leon. I'm getting you there. Let's see. Yeah, so how are you guys doing? I hope everyone had a good Christmas while we're waiting for to bring Leon up. I know I had an amazing time. I've been out of town. For some of you guys know that I was out of town. If you've been following us, listen, if you've been trying to get in touch with me, I apologize. It's a lot that has happened in the month of December. It's just so much that has happened in the month of December. And I apologize if I haven't been available, if you've been trying to reach me. But hey, we are here with Mr. Leon Sistrunk now. So welcome, Leon, to the stage. Woo! How are you doing tonight?
I'm wonderful. I'm excited.
Yes, I'm sorry. I couldn't hear what you said. Go ahead and repeat that.
What I was saying, it's been a journey. It's been an exciting journey. It's been pretty challenging for me, but I'm excited to be at this point.
Awesome. We're so glad that you have made it to the end, man. You have done it. Yes. So listen, Mr. Leon came into our class. Actually, Mr. Leon has been following Kingdom Builders forever, seems like. He is our biggest fan, I would say. He's been through several of our seminars on the credit repair side. That some of you know, we have a credit repair business, but we also have the Business University School for entrepreneurs that are looking to expand their business, do business the right way, and not do business by themselves. So we have Leon that has completed the 16-week course, and it includes business setup, business credit, business management, and business marketing. So you said that this has been a challenging experience. Let's elaborate a little bit on that, Leon.
Pretty much to my, I don't know, I guess I wasn't expecting as much. And it's not anything like a bad thing, but it's just, I was just thinking more or less, well, I'll take the course, do what's necessary, but I didn't think it was as involved as it was. And it's much appreciated. I look at all that we did, and it's really, it's something that's required to have a successful business. And I saw how you mentioned that if you want to do a legacy, you got to put a lot into it. And
yes,
a lot of juggling. I tend to like, okay, so I felt like I was shortchanging myself and my abilities. So now I'm at a point now where I just want to get all the information and just be a best business that I can to be successful to help others. So
yes, absolutely.
Challenge, but we're gonna face challenges. And if you don't, sometimes you got to go through tests and what have you. So it was welcomed.
Yes, any entrepreneur, no matter what level you're on, if you're just starting, if you don't even have an idea of what kind of business you want to start, or if you're already in business, you've been in business for a while, you're going to have failures, you're going to have challenges, you're going to have all kinds of things that arise, and you got to be ready and ready to continue to move forward is really the key. So in moving forward, you have pushed through 4 legitimate courses that have really just, like you said, it was much more than what you thought it would be, which in most cases it is for any entrepreneur that has taken our courses. Yes. But what would you say was the most beneficial out of the 4 courses, or did you have a favorite?
Well, the most beneficial is the setup. I figure setup, my opinion. I like the marketing, but I love the setup because it just goes into the in depth, because it's almost like that's your foundation. And having just like building a home, you do your setup, and then that way it will sustain and be successful. So I'm gonna have to go with the setup.
Awesome. Was there anything in particular that you felt like really just gave you that aha moment throughout the entire course? I know a lot of people are saying that business setup itself was it for them. I think 9 times out of 10, hands down, everybody has said that except for maybe one person. But outside of that, was there anything that stood out that like really just took you to that place that you needed to go in order for you to really put on that entrepreneur hat and say, wow, I'm really a legit business? That was there a stage at any point in time while you were taking the setup course or any other course?
As I look at it, and they always say hindsight is 2020. That aha moment is just me being a Christian, just seeing how there's a lot of correlation in having a successful business, and how you run your business is with that, how you operate with God and His kingdom.
Wow.
So those were some aha moments, that what I was taught with the tithing and the responsibilities of businesses as a kingdom, all of those kind of came, they were like came to fruition through that. So it was just
Wow.
amazing that was like, okay, this is very familiar. And so it was like, that was my aha moment, where a lot of the things is in pretty much parallel to what God expects of us.
Yes. Yes.
That's the one thing that bounces off right now to me.
That's amazing. Yes. So if you're watching for the first time, guys, we are KBBU, which is Kingdom Builders Business University. And what we do is help entrepreneurs to do business the right way, the legal way. We teach you business setup, business credit, business management, and business marketing. We help you get funded. We help you get established and market your company, advertise, the whole nine. There is nothing that we don't do at KBBU. And just like Leon is saying, his aha moment was the fact that, we teach you the parallel of God's kingdom in relation to being an entrepreneur. Because what we have found is that every single person on the face of this earth, Leon, is actually going to be either an employee or an employer. We have learned that. And that was one of the first things that we talked about in week 1 at KBBU in this course. And that's something that is really profound to really accept and receive, that every single thing on the face of this earth is set up for us to do some type of work. And whether we be on the employee side or the employer side, it's still an important work that we have to perform on this earth. God has really given us like access to so many huge responsibilities. And if we take them seriously and we take them to the next level, hey, we can become something really great, what He originally purposed our life for. So it's all about that destiny here at KBBU. It's all about that destiny.
Absolutely.
Yes, it is.
Absolutely.
Yes. So going into business credit, business management, business marketing, was there anything that you took away from those courses? I know they weren't your fave, but was there anything that you took away from that you could share with the audience, about the courses?
Well, I mean, I got something from each one of them, but what just sticks out to me now is the marketing. I like the marketing was because it just kind of helps you. I guess more so. I don't know if it's more so because of the business that I'm in, but it just helps you kind of like cater to what people want. And it's just like you're with the marketing part, you figuring out what's your consumer, or what's the customer, what are they looking for? So it helps you kind of be more in tune to what they want. So by marketing and finding that out, it helps kind of like shape your business, because you find almost like the customer is speaking to you via the marketing aspect of it. It's like you searching for that. And when you're looking into that, it just helps you to. That's what me. I'll study people, and I used to take a lot of marketing classes. So it just, you sit and watch people, and you watch their habits and stuff. So that helps you to be in tune to what they're looking for, to help me be a better person in my business, in my field that I'm into. So that I'm gonna say marketing.
Awesome. That's a great analogy. And that is one of the things that we try to structure, the business marketing and every one of the courses in relation to how you're going to be viewed as an entrepreneur, as well as what your customer actually is seeing when we have that sales conversation. Yes, I'm giving y'all a little bit of secrets of what the courses are kind of like. So when we have our marketing course, we do actually take each student through a sales conversation, and that sales conversation entails us becoming the customer for the entrepreneur that's in the class. And so I know yours was kind of like, it was a little nerve wracking, I believe, wasn't it? Yes, yes, yes. So, with that being said, when we do the sales conversation, we're really just trying to prepare our students for what is out there in the real world. So, it really does help them to better understand, like, why am I doing this? What am I doing? You know, and sometimes we have students that walk away from that sales conversation that actually decide that they want to change their business. So you can actually be a part of KBBU and decide that you don't even want to do what you originally started out saying that you would like to do in business. You can actually change your business. It doesn't mean that you have to do away with the company you originally started out with. It just means that you might want to do something else first before you expand into maybe a larger type of business or a different industry. So those are some of the things, some of the wonderful things that we experience at KBBU. It's always a surprise. It's nothing that, you know, it's really not anything that we do that is repeated exactly word for word over and over again. So if you've taken KBBU before and you're coming back to the January class, am I right?
You're correct.
Yes, yes. So when you come back, we have like a whole new slew of information. Like God has just been downloading so many new ideas, so many new concepts and precepts for the new class. So we are truly excited that you're coming back to the January 25th course. That's January 25th through May 24th, guys. So if you're interested in joining the KBBU course, we have an upcoming course that will start in January. And it will run for 4.5 months. And you are able to register right now. So in order to do that, you can go to KBBU. It's www.kbbullc.com, or you can call us at 855-522-8552. Again, that's 855-KBBULLC.com. Basically, it's what you can go to, or you can call us, okay? So Leon, I know that you established, when you first came to us, you didn't have a business, but now you do have a business established. So what kind of business entity that you established?
It is a nonprofit. And,
a nonprofit! Woo!
All
your nonprofits out there,
yes.
listen up.
Okay. It was, originally I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do, but I just looked at what I felt like I was good at, or I was compassionate. I had to kind of dig into myself. And that's something that you helped to shape, Michelle. So I want to give you the credit for that as well.
Oh, thank you. You are most welcome.
You had a lot to do. So I'm going to give you some credit on that one. But the nonprofit side of it is, I've been working with a lot of elderly throughout my life, being with my parents.
Really?
Yeah, with parents, and always handling different issues with them. So I felt, compassionate about making that, working towards that. So I just, in talking with a lot of people, I just felt like right now we're in a lot of inflationary situations where everything is at a high cost. And I was talking to a lot of people. They were saying the elderly is one of the most vulnerable populations that's affected by these things, because they are on whatever fixed income. And some other startling information that they were stating, that they're not receiving all of their their benefits, because a lot of them just aren't aware. And it kind of got me going, and I felt like I needed to work more. And I just like to do things where I feel good at, or feel like I'm making a difference. So that resonated with me. So that would kind of help propelled me into that arena, as far as, looking for a business for that. I mean, there may be other businesses in the future, which is what my plan is, but I just feel the most impactful to me right now.
Awesome. Like, I really love how we're not just considering, the young people. We're not just considering the teenagers, or, the ones that are young and ready to take off and go take on the world. We're looking at the elderly, and you're right, they are very vulnerable. And I know my mom is like 72. Hope she don't mind me sharing that. And my grandmother is 97. And even though they are very independent individuals, they can get around, they drive, they cook for themselves. They're mostly, in the house by themselves. But the thing is that, they are vulnerable to like the changes that come up with the services that they are trying to receive. So who has been out there to really close the gap and help them to understand the new information, the way that things are being done, how they change? And that's what you have created, is a business that have actually bridged the gap between the elderly and the information that they desperately need.
Yes.
Most of them, they need the services. It's not even something that they have an option to have. So if you have any parents out there, or if you have an auntie or uncle and they just don't understand the information, they don't understand how to connect the dots to the services that they may need, then that's what Golden Results is all about with Leon Sistrunk. Awesome. That's amazing, Leon. That is truly amazing.
Thank
and I
you.
love, you're welcome. I love your inspiration too. Like, I grew up in my grandparents' house myself. So I'm used to being around elderly as well. And we used to go around, visiting all of my grandmother's family and friends and whatnot. And my mom working or whatever. And so I'm used to being in that same environment of being around the elders and, just watching them and how they do things. And that has really taught me a lot. So I'm sure that you gain a lot of insight, a lot of wisdom from them,
Yes.
in that aspect. And then you're coming along and you're just making this picture a lovely experience for them in their golden age. I
Well,
love that.
well, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So listen, if someone wants to get in touch with you regarding their parent or regarding their family member, how would they get in touch with you to see if you could be of assistance to their family member? Would they be able to call you,
Yeah.
or? All right. All
Well,
right.
call or email
Okay.
will be sufficient. Is that will be either way. I mean, I'm there, and I'll check my messages periodically as well.
All right. So what is your email address for the audience if they would like to reach out to you?
Okay, it's going to be info at goldenresults.com.
Goldenresults.com, guys. So that's info at goldenresults.com is how you would email Leon for the services. Or let's see, what's your address? Where are you located out of?
I'm located out of Columbia, South Carolina. It's going to be on Forum Drive. Unfortunately, I don't have my address right now because I was just setting up. I apologize.
No, I have it. Actually, I believe that's 1235, suite number 1235 in Columbia, South Carolina, 29229. So I got you covered. That's how we do things at KBBU. We ain't gonna leave you hanging like that.
And that's part of one of the features with Michelle. She's got your back. She's there to help you where you may not be able to the right arm.
That's all right. Yes, we are here to walk you hand in hand, no matter what the situation. Absolutely, yes, absolutely. So if you are interested in getting a parent or family member, anyone that's in the golden age group, and you are concerned now about them understanding like Medicare, I'm sorry, is it Medicare? Yes, Medicare, and long-term, short-term disability or disability paperwork. If you have a family member that's, just having problems understanding how to set everything up or how to continue the services, how to renew the services, that's what Leon has created, a environment for our vulnerable golden age group so that they can have someone to depend on to close the gap for any type of information. Now, Leon, do you provide service just in the Columbia, South Carolina area, or are they able to reach out to you from any location? Do you do virtual? Is it in person?
Yes, I do virtual, but the target area right now is the Columbia. It's going to be the Orangeburg, Calhoun County, Allendale, and Bamberg counties specifically. But I will do virtual calls, and the reason why I target those 4 areas initially, those counties, because those are considered one of the poorer counties in the state.
Wow, for
And
real?
I was doing my research. Now we'd have some other ones, but they were actually on the lines where it's just a lot of minorities as well as elderly in those areas. So I target the area. It's called, everybody probably know it as, we call it the OCAB, which is Orangeburg County,
Okay.
Calhoun County, Allendale, and Bamberg. So those are my targets, but I will be expanding out throughout the state. But I just figure that's where I want to get in this work services there and expand out, because
awesome.
If I may add, to those independent, a lot of, because my aunt, she's 93, and
wow,
trying to take away their dependence or anything, but just to make sure that they're getting the best all they have. Because my motto is that if you worked all of your life and you've worked tirelessly, you deserve everything that is due to you, plus some.
Absolutely.
So I figured
yes.
that's hence the name of the company, Golden. You're in your golden years, so you should be reaping all of the benefits to you. So that's just kind of prompt that. So I just wanted to add that.
That's great. I love that. I love that because it's so true. People have worked, you got this age group from, like, I would say maybe 16 to 18 years old, and then they work till they're 60 and 70 years old. And so you spend most of your life working, whether you're working for somebody else or you're working in your own company, it doesn't matter. You are in the workforce.
Absolutely.
And we don't knock anyone that has a job, but the thing is that you're pouring your whole livelihood into working, and when you are ready to retire, you should have all the benefits. You should be able to reap every benefit. I agree with you, because you have poured into not just your own life, but your community, your city, your state. You have poured into a whole nation. And that is truly important for us to honor and respect about our elder. A lot of times, we have people who just kind of like push them to the side. And I hate to see that, Leon. I really hate to see that.
Absolutely.
But because I know that there are services that are available to them so that they don't have to live in the situation that they are in. So I really appreciate what you're doing for the community of the elder, of the golden age group, because it's very necessary. And I think that if we as a people in this country, in this world, would honor our elders more, I believe that we would really truly see the blessings that are hindering, the things that have hindered us from moving forward. I believe there will be an open floodgate of blessings that will pour out, because we're giving back to the people who gave for us for so many years.
Absolutely. I agree.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, me too. Yes, I have a heart for the elder. I do, because like I said, my grandma's 97, my mom's 72, and I'm 50 now, so I'm getting on over that hump myself. So it's like, yeah, we got to think about, even though we're kind of smack dab in the middle, we still got to consider not just our youth and younger generation, but also our elder and those who have really paved the way for us to make it easier for us to have a better life. So thank you so much for sharing with the world, your services. And I know that you're going to receive some assistance, some people that are going to be calling you and contacting you. So again, y'all, reach out to Leon at info@goldenresults.com, or you can also send him a letter in the mail at 136-4 Forum Drive. That's suite number 1235 in Columbia, South Carolina, 29229. And he will also provide his phone number, his contact information in the future. He's in the middle of changing numbers right now due to some technical difficulties, but he will get that number up and out for you guys. But if you reach out to us, we can definitely get you in contact with Leon. Okay. And again, he is servicing most of the
The Homeschooling Interactive magazine is a magazine that embraces and celebrates the entire homeschooling experience. Our magazine is different from all the rest because we provide beneficial information and assistance in homeschooling, business, wellness, mental health, resources, and life. We encourage you to pick up a copy of our magazine today on Amazon.com by simply searching the Homeschooling Interactive magazine. The Homeschooling Interactive magazine is all about impacting the world through home-based learning, helping to de-stress the homeschooling experience. Get your copy from Amazon today.
Hello, my name is Alethea Tucker, and I am the CEO of Jolie's Enterprises. I'm also the host of a show entitled Reinvent and Rise, and the host of a podcast entitled Leveling Up the Podcast with Alethea Tucker. I recently had the distinct pleasure of working with Tina Ramsey and CTR Media Network in one of her programs where she taught me how to get exposure for my podcast.
CTR Media Network has amazing opportunities to expand the visibility of business owners, entrepreneurs, authors, coaches, and podcasters on our platform. Would you like to be interviewed on any of our podcasting shows where we're booking right now? So go to ctrmedianetwork.com. Would you like to have an ad in our upcoming Podcast Revolution magazine? Well, simply go to our website and place your ad today. We also have commercial placement opportunities. We would love to play your commercial during the airing of our CTR Media Network Live and the Tina Ramsey Show. We would love to partner with you. If you feel that your business is a right fit, contact us about our sponsorship opportunities. CTR Media Network has a variety of different opportunities to fit every budget. So reach out to us by going to ctrmedianetwork.com and book the appropriate ad for yourself today.
What that means is we have to apply action. We have to be confident in who we are and whose we are. Go to focusyoursuccess.com, download my 11 tips to overcome mental health challenges, and even just to work with me so we can start building that confidence, that self-esteem. And when you walk in the room, let your light shine. Don't let anyone tell you, girl, sit down. Boy, sit down. We ain't doing that over here. We elevate and we promote and we take people to the next level, honey. FocusYourSuccess.com and start working with me. Book your call today.
Welcome to Empower You Crown Up, formerly known as Intensely Made Whole. We are doing a whole switch of alignment for this podcast, focusing on empowering you. We are doing a whole shift, and we're excited about it, honestly. Empower You is about you being empowered to know that you can overcome anything you put your mind to. And life is just full of so many, it's like a roller coaster, it's full of so many ups and downs. And at the end of the day, all that matters is that you are taking the time to take care of you. Because if you don't take care of you, there's nothing else that you can do. And so today we're going to be talking about inner healing, the art of letting go. And how do we do that? And before we get started, I love to start with an amazing quote. This one says, there's two that really stand out today when we talk about inner healing. You hold the power to allow yourself to heal. Now I'm going to read it again. You hold the power to allow yourself to heal. And this quote really stands out to me because at the end of the day, a lot of times people try to blame this person or blame that person, or they're stuck because they feel like they can't move forward until this person apologizes or acknowledges they're wrong. But reality of it is that person is going on about their business and they have to deal with it too. They might not deal with it the way that we would like for them to deal with it, but they do have to deal with it and suffer those consequences. And so at the end of the day, I am not going to allow someone power over my life. I am not going to allow someone power over my thoughts, my mindset, and my feelings. And whenever we set a goal to know that no matter what I am experiencing or dealing with in life, I am not going to allow someone to stop me from being great, man, the sky is the limit. Because in life, there is so much going on, but you deserve the best, okay? And so when we think about living in this world and just giving our very best and knowing that you hold the power, I want you to think about yourself. What is it that you are allowing to have power and control over your life? What is it that you need to release? Who are you allowing to have control over your mindset, your thoughts, your actions, what you do, what you don't do? Think about that person or the words that they said and release it. And tell yourself this moment forward, that person's words, thoughts, or opinions will no longer have control over you. This other quote that I like, it says, forgive yourself and allow healing to begin. And to me, these two quotes go hand in hand because in order to move forward, I have to forgive me. Whether I believe that it's because of me that this happened or because of me that this was the next course of action. But a lot of times, for example, in situations where people might have been raped, a lot of times people, they don't speak up or they're scared because of the stigmatism surrounded by it. And in the day, you are walking around with that unforgiveness in your heart, whether it's unforgiving yourself, being in the wrong place, wrong time, unforgiving of the person who did this to you, unforgiving of yourself, feeling like, oh, if I had different clothes on. Because at the end of the day, we are not responsible for someone else's actions to us. And we are only responsible for our actions and our reactions. And so if someone has hurt you or did something that is not in alignment with your views and your values and what you hold dear to your heart, we got to learn to let it go. Why they did it, we don't know. But we have to forgive ourselves. And when you truly walk in a place of forgiveness, true forgiveness, only then will you be able to see the world in a different light. Only then will you be free and not living in bondage. And so that brings us to today. When we talk about your inner healing and the art of letting go, is understanding that no matter what you are experiencing in your life, no matter what you're going through, you have to know that you can accomplish anything you put your mind to, but we have to release power and we have to forgive. And when you do that, oh my goodness, you will see so clearly because you're no longer allowing people to take over your mind. You're no longer allowing people to control your thoughts, control what you do or don't do. It is time for you to live your best life and to give your very best because we live in a world that's tossed and turned, and one person says one thing and everyone runs with it. Nobody's fact checking anything. And the reality of it is have a mind of your own. You can do your own research. You can be so great. And so don't allow anyone, especially if you have a great idea, don't allow someone to tell you don't do it. Do it. Because at the end of the day, we have to spread our wings and do what makes us happy. And so I've talked to so many different people who said, you know, I know this might sound crazy because now I'm on a different path. No, it doesn't. Because in life, you experience so many different things, you meet different people, um, you know, and those are the experiences that navigate your path to live a life that's worth living. And so it's just important to understand, like, you don't have all the answers. You know, you could be 20 years old, 40 years old, 60 years old, but you do not have all the answers. And so in today's message of inner healing, the art of letting go, just know that the choice is yours. But we have to learn to let go. And how do we do that? I challenge you to write down what you truly desire to have, and write down what it is that you desire to accomplish. What are your top goals in life? And once you write those goals down, I want you to say, okay, how are you going to get there? Turn them into SMART goals. Make it specific. Make them measurable. And just start looking at everything and see, okay, how can I make my goals attainable to be who I desire to be? And once you do that, trust and believe you will overcome and crush so many goals. You have so much strength inside of you that you didn't even know existed. But it starts with you. You have to be great. You have to allow God to just take you to the next level. Because sometimes we don't know the way. We don't know where we're headed because it doesn't seem clear. It doesn't. And if you're that person that has to know every single thing, well, we have to be okay with knowing that life, journeys of life, we don't have to know every piece. But as long as we are constantly moving, constantly connecting ourselves to people who desire to be great, then we will accomplish so much in life, so much more than we could ever imagine. So today in your challenge of letting go, journal, give your best every day. Set a goal to say, you know what, I'm going to accomplish these goals and be the best version of myself daily, and allow your light to shine. All right. But thank you guys for tuning in to Empower You Crown Up. I hope this was great. Straight to the point, talking about inner healing and just living your best life. The time is now. The time is now to live your best life. If you haven't started following me yet, make sure you follow me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok at empoweryou_crown up. Thank you.
Oh my goodness, the mailman came. I hope my sweet little thing cookie's in here. Yeah, I just hope it's in here. Let me see. Let me open this up. That's it. That's it. Sweet little thing cookie. That sweet little thing cookie. Oh, I'ma have me a ball now. Let me just get this right here. Little thing cookie. That sweet little thing cookie. Oh yeah. I finally got my cookies. This sweet little thing cookies. Oh yeah. I'ma have fun. This package kinda big though. Man, it got a lot of cookies. Oh yeah, this the best day ever. I'm trying to tell you, I got my cookies, and I'm gonna eat these cookies, and ain't nobody gonna stop me. Wait, what?
Marie, what you doing, man? You can't have those cookies right now. I'm sorry, we about to eat dinner. Once we finish dinner, then you can have those cookies. Go ahead, put them up. Go ahead, put them up.
Are you serious, bruh? I got sweet little thing cookies, and now I gotta wait for dinner? Fine, can I at least look at the cookies? Thank you. Oh my goodness, I have waited all this time now. I gotta do all this. Fine. Oh yeah. I got my hands on some sweet little thing cookies. But I can't eat them right now because bruh talking about I gotta wait to dinner. Okay, I'ma do that. But once I finish that, it's gonna be on, y'all. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Bruh talking about cooking some food. All this is a can of salmon and some frozen biscuit. Bruh cannot cook. I know he don't think I'ma eat this. Ain't no way. Bruh. Hey, bruh. Daddy. Daddy. Where are you? You set me up, homie. You had me about to eat a can of salmon and some frozen biscuit. I'm not down with that. I want my sweetless thing cookies. My sweetless thing cookies. Carrot cook. Is this what I'm saying? I was born by the river in a little old tent. Just like that river, I was running ever since. Marie, hey man, it ain't what it's not what it thinks. I'm sorry. I was just gonna eat one cookie, but I ate them all. It's not my fault, Marie. I know better than this. You trying to set me up, homie. You had me eating that nasty food, and you ate all the cookies?
Finish him.
No, Marie. No, Marie. No.
Hey, family. I'm sorry y'all had to see that. But what did we learn today? One thing we learned is you don't mess with Marie and you don't mess with his sweet Lestane cookies. Tell him that right, Curtis.
That's right, y'all. Don't mess with Marie and don't mess with his sweet Lestane cookie. That's all I got to say. I'm sorry.
You can't pray away. For you, Samantha, did you find that to be true?
Yes, it's true, because
Hello, hi, my name is Shayna Aspie. I am the Family Life Coach. I'm coming to you today to talk to you about how homeschool education actually allows you to educate the whole child. Within being a Family Life Coach, I have learned to observe children where they are, as well as bring to the forefront some of my techniques that I use from parenting. I also have written a program called The Right to Knowledge, which I teach in the foster care system, where I give them a great foundation of where to begin, learning the pillars of self-love, family, community, education, and purpose, which is located in the Right to Knowledge program. As well as writing the program, I am also a 4 times published author. You can find a lot of my books on Amazon. I do want to introduce you to 2 books that were for my foundation. One of them is called A Hero Ain't Nothing But a Sandwich by Alice Childress. The second one is called The Miseducation of the Negro by Carter G. Woodson. These books were a part of my foundation in youth, and I'm so ecstatic about that. My mother introduced them to me. So, A Hero Ain't Nothing But a Sandwich is a story by Alice Childress that contains incorrect grammar, misspelled words, and a lot of slang. My mother basically told me What you will read will determine how you speak, and how you speak will determine how you write. So I'm so grateful for this. The second book is The Miseducation by the Negro by Carter G. Woodson. This book I really didn't understand as a child, but as I became older and I reread the book, I understood what they were trying to explain. One of the things that they were trying to explain is that the education system that we're currently under within the public schools was only subjecting us to work in the factories. So we were only supposed to receive education to work in the factories and not to go further than that. Yes, it's true. So once you read the book of The Miseducation of the Negro by Carter G. Woodson, you'll be able to understand the public school sector a little bit better. My mother stated as a child that she would put me on punishment and I would go in my room and read a book. So when she realized that that didn't work, she decided to make me write book reports. So I'm grateful for that. Even these two stories as my foundation on life. It started my foundation, rather. Also, being a parent, I wanted to find the best type of education for my child. So within that, I took him to many different schools trying to find him a great education. The types of school that I actually took him to consisted of an African-centered school, charter schools, public schools, private schools, evolution schools, virtual schools, as well as self-directed education. My son was able to obtain a lot of different knowledge or information from all of these schools, which allowed me to observe and realize that our children actually learn more when they're actually open to a plethora of information as opposed to a narrow perspective of information. I loved it. Now, I can't say out of all of them, self-directed education was definitely the best for me because it kind of gave me a grasp of who my son was and what area or field that he should go in and become an adult. And I was able to basically self-direct that with him and give him courses that would help him attain that information. He wants to be a language interpreter. So that means that we were to gain his, build his curricula according to that within a homeschool environment. Also, I believe that a lot of things that comes when it comes to the homeschool education should be started at home, right? So that means that we have to build relationships and start bonding with our children. And then bonding and building relationships and learning our children, we're able to learn who they are by observation. So when my son was younger, I actually observed him crawling around and going to the VCR tape that was on the floor or the VCR player that was on the floor. I saw him trying to put the cassette tape inside inside the VHS player. I didn't bother him. I just allowed him to continue doing what he was doing. But through observation, I noticed that he was consistent. He would not give up until he actually put that cassette tape, which inside that VCR player. This told me that the way he's going to learn by doing, but he's also going to be that type of person that's going to be able to accomplish anything that he put his mind to because he's persistent. That's through that observation, what it told me. Another incident that happened when he was a child was when he was in kindergarten. When he was in kindergarten, he was able to attain Student of the Week. While obtaining Student of the Week, he was able to eat lunch with some of his peers on the stage. He was also able to be the teacher's assistant. He received a certificate with that, and as well as his picture on the board. Within the next few weeks, he was acting up in school. And so when I asked him, like, Marcus, why are you acting up in school? Don't you want to be Student of the Week again? His response to me at that time was, Mom, you can only get it one time. I thought to myself again, wow, this kid is too smart. So I had to be witty or outsmart him. That's what this told me. So those are things that through observation, that when building bonds, when teaching from home or homeschool education, that we can be aware of to help enhance those skills or other things so we can learn our child. That helps as far as homeschool education. Now, also through my observation of not just my child, but other children, I also learned that for every 2 children that people have, that one child is more left brain or more right brain. So that one child might be left brain, more left brain. The second one may be more right brain. But in understanding this, it actually completes the whole child, right? And the reason, my theory for that is that so we would not only have to support on ourselves, but we have to learn from each other. Now, triplets, twins, it's the same thing. They're all different, but one is more left brain and one is more right brain. We just have to acknowledge this and see it for ourselves. Now, with that learning, with me, by learning this, I understand my role within the village, right? So that means that they say it takes a village to raise a child. I believe this. Now, through my girlfriend's observations and friends of mine, they're able to show me things that I didn't even see because it takes us as a unit, right? But these are a few of the observations that I basically have observed. Another one is, again, like I talked about before, is the left brain thinker and the right brain thinker. Now, when it comes to children that's more left brain, they're more logical, rational, have objective, systematic, and they're great in math. They're the ones that people consist of as being more the followers, meaning that the data comes in and they're able to act within the data that comes in. Now, when the right brain thinker, he's the more creative person. They love the arts, they're great in the imagination, they're random, and they're emotional. Now, the ones that's the right brain, they're great at music, they love music, and they're great thinkers as well. Now, what I realize is that the system that we're currently in, they more appeal to the left brain thinker because they're more logical and they follow direction. Now, the right brain thinker, they're more the master builders. They call them the master builders because they're able to create and think outside the box. They're creative. If you ever seen the movie called The Lego Movie, it talks a lot about this. So the right brain and the left brain is definitely a great place to start to understanding who your children are so you can help them shape to become whole. And whatever they're missing, you can actually educate them on that or take education from a whole different angle to give them that wholesome type of learning or understanding. What I also realized is that in history, when it came to leaders, we always had 2 leaders. One was more left brain and the other one was more right brain. So here we have Malcolm and Martin. Now, which one do you think is more left brain and which one do you think is more right brain? So I say that Malcolm was more of a left brain thinker because a lot of his information he got from somebody else, but he was able to be self-educated. But the information came into him first, and then he was able to spew that information out. When it came to Martin, he was able to take the education that he learned from somebody else and create a whole movement of what he wanted to do. And he had to think outside the box in order to do it. Now, as time progressed on, those 2 people were able to understand more of the other person's learning style and that they were different. Instead of coming apart, they were starting to come together. But of course, that was later in their life and later in their learning. Tupac and Biggie, the same way. They were both great artists on different pages. One was more left brain and one was more right. I'm going to ask you, who do you think was more left brain and who do you think was more right? You tell me. I'm going to leave that one up to you. Now, my son was given an assignment a couple of weeks ago, and the question was, do you feel that people or humans have stopped evolving? My thought was, no way have we stopped evolving. We are always supposed to grow mentally, physically, and spiritually. When we stop growing mentally and spiritually, we're in trouble. We should be learning every day, keeping our minds open to learn something new. I look forward to learning mentally, physically, and spiritually. And it's our jobs as parents to continue the growth of our children mentally, physically, and spiritually by observing what they don't have and teaching them what they need to know in order for them to move to that next level. And when they're ready, we should be adding on to that. And they'll be learning how to adapt to the environment that they're in and learn from other people around them. Learning styles. Different learning styles is definitely a great way to understand who your child is. Our children need to know that they learn differently, and we need to be, as parents, know how our children learn. This will actually help you in understanding who your child is if he doesn't do something to the point of where you thought he should do it to, or how he's learning in school. There's 12 different learning styles. Some of the ones that are different learning styles are listed right here on the screen. The first one is visual, a visual learner, an auditory learner, tactile learner, kinesthetic, sequential, simultaneous, logical, verbal, interactive, indirect experience, direct experience, and rhythmic melody. Now, the three types of learning styles that people usually adapt to within the school system or different places are visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. Now, a visual learner is the type of person who learns more by seeing. They have to sometimes watch a movie, see a video, go outside and see the views. The person that's more auditory, they're the person who actually listens. They learn by listening, maybe a speaker, a presentation, or by music. The person who is more kinesthetic, they actually are more hands-on people. Sometimes they have to be hands-on, get in the groove of learning how to do it by action. Now, there are some people that have a plethora of different learning styles. There's nothing wrong with you having different learning styles. So you might have to see it, taste it, touch it, smell it, breathe it, as well as do it. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Another part of learning at home is creating characteristics. Our children need to learn how to have integrity about their character. That comes from having morals that are set in place or inside of them that they know if I do this, I'm going to look bad, and I have to set some type of standard about myself for me not to do something or feel bad about it. Another one is ethics. When it comes to ethics, oh my goodness, understanding that every cause has an effect. There's a consequence for everything, and every action has a reaction. And I should know this. That's going to morally, it's going to impact everything about my integrity or characteristics. When it comes to values, these are different things that I hold dearly about myself, and I value them. And then one of those things of value should be how we carry ourselves with integrity and our characteristics. Every time my children go out the house, they are representing us, and they should know that. And even their children, when they have children, they're representing them too. This is something that we need to think about. In the Family Life Coach, which Shayna asked me, the Family Life Coach, I actually have a creed that I have the family sign that talks about you as a person and what this family actually stood for and what we should stand for as a whole. Every family member actually signs this creed, and it becomes the family motto. I love this part. The Bible basically states in Proverbs 22 is that you train up a child in the way that they should go, and they will not depart from it. I feel so strongly about this proverb due to the fact that if a child goes untamed, uneducated, undirected, and they're just out in the wind. How do I know? Because a lot of times that was me. I didn't receive that whole education. And through observation and my own learning of looking at myself or self-reflection, I was able to understand this. I had, of course, the education part when it came to school, but what I lacked was I didn't know my self-worth. I didn't have integrity. I didn't know about characteristic styles and how important it was in order to understand that. I didn't know I had a different learning style until I got to college. But a lot of these things would have actually helped me in understanding who I was as a person, right? As well as self-directed education. I'm following along and not understanding that I should be finding out who I was because high school is going to end one day and I have to go to college. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely a very important piece. So that foundation of a child is definitely important. We have to learn that we have to shape and mold that and not leave other people to shape and mold that for us. That means that the current education or the educational system that our kids are in, a lot of us are working and we're not thinking about how our children are being trained up at school. Martin Luther King stated, I have a dream that my 4 children will one day live in a nation where they not be judged by the color of their skin, but the content of our character. Again, character is everything. Everything in this day and time, it should be about integrity. It is our duty as parents to shape and mold that character to become greatness. I hope you like this presentation that basically gave you my views on education and how education actually helps you shape or help you educate the whole child, or homeschool education rather. Home attains the best type of education. Observation of children is definitely one. Growth and how we're supposed to be growing mentally, physically, and spiritually. Understanding your child's learning style, and maybe even the learning style that you may have that you didn't even know you obtained. Ethics, morals, and values become with integrity. We should hold our children with high standards, right? But that is only taught at home. The Right to Knowledge is a program that I actually taught or teach within the foster care system and everywhere that I go about self-love, family, community, education, and purpose. These are the pillars because I believe that you have to have these pillars to set yourself out in life. If you think about self-love, understanding who you are, self-worth, and know that, then you'll be able to understand family. If you get in the family or you're in a family, you'll understand how to love family because you understand how to love yourself, right? And understand that everybody is different. But even though we're different, we can still come together as a family and learn from each other. And if you know who you are within the family, you don't have to worry about who everybody else is. You'll know your role and how to connect people everywhere else in the world. Because family, I believe, is the first set of people that you could deal with before you deal with everybody else in the rest of the world because you can't divorce your family. They're going to always be your family tomorrow. That's to teach you how to get along with other people. When it comes to community, I have to understand that what I do in the community or what I do in my house affects my community. And what happens in my community affects me. It's an indirect reflection. And I need to be involved in community so it can have the best output, right? Or the best outlook on life for other people and for myself. When it comes to education, we'll be forever learning for the rest of our lives. Learning is not just a today thing, it's an everyday, it's a lifestyle. And purpose. Understanding that to get to your purpose, you can go through these different steps to understanding that you have a purpose in this life and you will be able to understand what your purpose is by accessing or knocking on the door of all of these pillars. Being a family life coach is definitely enjoyable. You get to meet so many people and you get to meet so many different children and you get to work with them on so many different levels. But being a family life coach is so meaningful to me because of my foundation and how I was brought up. So I am able to teach and educate and have fun with the family and teaching them how to bond. There are many different services that we actually offer. You can look them up at www.beautifulbyshayna.com or you can call me at 803-415-9682. Thank you so much for this presentation and enjoy your day.
Hello, this is Robert Caulfield. Get Up Community Center, and we have Act Accordingly at the end of the day wins. Now, if you want to know how to find us, and Daniel is international, and I'm local. And I'm just letting you know.
Well, yeah,
I'm
throw
local.
something in there.
You'll find me on WKRSPG. I'm still on radio, right? I'm still on radio, and but you won't find that station. Don't even try to find out what it is, because I don't even have a radio station. I just put that out there. I'm local. You'd have to come visit me to know who I am. And I ain't giving you my address. I'm just not gonna do it. It's the only time you're gonna see me. I'm just letting you know that. Now, Daniel, on the other hand, he's all over. He on Twitter and Facebook, and he might be in the Bible. Look him up, Daniel. He's in there. And I told y'all this. Y'all will not believe this. I told you that Daniel in the Bible is his relative. It's Shadrach, Meshach, and that other dude we don't know. Oh, Abednego. That's
because we out of the tribe of Judah.
In the tribe of Judah, and I'm in the tribe of, yes, I'm in the tribe called Quest. Remember that group? I just run. I'm in the tribe called Quest. I'm in the tribe. Y'all don't know about that. That's back in the that's old.
Yeah.
But I'm out of that group now. I'm out of that group.
I wasn't expecting that one, man.
I'm expecting that one. See, he didn't know that. I'm in the tribe called Quest. Yeah.
Tribe called Quest.
Yeah. Back in the old days when you had the MC and all that stuff. You don't know about that. Now we're gonna talk about something very important. I gotta take my glass off of this. We're gonna talk about being trustworthy. I want you to see my eyes, and you can look a person in the eyes. That's what people say. I can look in your eyes and tell if you're trustworthy or not. Lying? No, you can't do that. Now I'm putting my glasses on. See? Now I look trustworthy. I look debonair. See? So I'm gonna start off with Daniel. I don't know why we tell that lie. We say, you know what? I can look at you and tell if I can trust you or not. Especially relationships. Like, as men, I used to hear this, like women say, I know you. No, you don't. You lying. Because if you'd have known me, you wouldn't have married me. And if you'd have known me, you probably wouldn't even date me. If you'd have known me, you probably would have said, wait a minute. That's really true. And I'm saying this because I recently, me and my wife were talking about trustworthiness, like trusting relationships and stuff like that. And we were just talking in general, like being friends with each other and just being trustworthy. Or when you're dating somebody, can they trust you? Or can God trust you? Can you trust God? I know that sounds crazy. It's a whole bunch of people, and I've been there. Like, there's been days I like, can I trust God? Which is ridiculous. It's redunculous. That word is not nowhere in there. I just made it up. Where you just asking the person who made you and got you on this planet and that's sustaining you, can you trust you trust him? That's ignorant. That's what we do. So trust is powerful, man, when you really think about it. And so let me just start off with this, and then we're gonna go ahead and knock this out, because this is the truth, man. The truth. So I looked up Luke 6:10 and 10. The Bible says, be trustworthy with little. That's with little. He ain't say a lot, just a little bit of something. And God will trust you with more. So look at this. The math is fuzzy. God said, just give me a little, man, and I'll give you more. Every time you give a little, he must have known we weren't gonna give it up. We ain't gonna give it all up, because we just don't have the passion. We just not that smart. Now, look at this. Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much. And whoever is dishonest with very little will also be dishonest with much. I had to start with that, man. And I started thinking, man, doggone. God just said, give me a little bit, baby. This is where I work. Give me a little bit, and I'll give you more. I just want to see if you can handle it. But if you're dishonest with the little stuff I done gave you, then you're going to be dishonest with all the other stuff. So Danny, I'm going to start with that, man. What's your thoughts on, just a little, I give you a lot. If you're going to be dishonest with the little, then you're going to be dishonest with a lot. What do you think about that?
I mean, I don't even know what I can add. What I can add to that is going back to the beginning, like what you were saying, like where did we get in that? I can look in your eyes and tell whether you telling the truth or not. I guess they talking about the science behind it or something about your eyes roll to the right or to the left, all of that stuff. I guess they do the scientific. I'll go back to the Bible on them. Hit them with the scripture. Hey, you can tell the tree by its fruit, right? Yep. If you can't tell by the fruit, then you haven't been observing them long enough. So that's an indication that not that you're looking for bad fruit from somebody, but you do need to examine people for a while before you just give them full access into your life. Before you just let them have full access to you, you need to examine them. You need to clear them. They need to make sure they go through a proper check in order to get clearance before you just give them full access to you. That's the best way I can say to guard yourself.
And the Bible talks about being the spiritual thing, like the Spirit of the Lord leading you. See, the Spirit of the Lord, not spirits. See, we got that confused. We think I've heard people say that. Yeah. See, now I've been drunk before, and I used to say this, man, when I was lit up. I say, you know what? I know who you think you are. I know you, man. I know ya. Now that wasn't me talking. That that is either the whiskey. That's old school. Y'all don't know about whiskey. That's that whiskey. That's that brown liquor. There's a difference between white liquor and brown liquor, by the way. Y'all don't know it now. Gin will make it sin. Remember that? See, you don't know about all that stuff. See, if the common man had enough sense to know, man, you don't know that. And the reason why I brought it up, because that's true. People say, yeah, I can just tell. I can tell you if you telling the truth. Really? Can you tell? This is how I know you're lying. Because when I was lying, you didn't know I was lying. Then all of a sudden, when the lie manifests itself, now all of a sudden you're gonna talk about, I can't trust you. Then no. You should already know that the little that I was dealing with you on, that I couldn't be trusted. And then now some big stuff that came up. And then you still saying the same thing, but you didn't catch it the first time. So I'm bringing it up because the bottom line is the Spirit of the Lord is what you need to discern if somebody is trustworthy or not. That's number one. If we ain't on the same sheet of music, then you're not going to do that. And let me tell you something else. Game, no game. So I know a lot of church people, because titles don't entitle you, they think that, guess what? That because my name is Elder Lightfoot, Bishop Tutu, whatever, I don't know, that makes you trustworthy with people. No. This is spiritual warfare. So do I figure that? So the pimp, prostitute, and everybody else, they know game. They ain't stupid. Like if we got like spirits, right? And it ain't right. They know. They can smell you a mile away. Now that I know, because that's spiritual. This has nothing to do with no natural stuff, man. Like I know there's a science behind it. You can read polygraphs and all that. We can tell them a lot. But that's not true. Because why they hooking me up to the machine? That's my whole point. So when we talk trustworthiness, man, but Daniel, I'm gonna hit you with this one because I just wanted to see what you had to say. But I looked up trustworthiness, what the definition is. It's a noun that refers to the quality of being trustworthy. It encompasses a range of attributes, including honesty, reliability, dependability, and transparency. Trustworthiness is an essential trait for building and maintaining relationships, whether they are personal or professional. So now I'm gonna hit you with this, Dan, and I'm gonna let you talk about this. So my point, the reason why I wanted to read the definition, because see, we so busy focusing on one aspect of trustworthiness. We just say, now this one is said, honesty, reliable, dependable, and transparent. So you lying, you ain't trustworthy if you not transparent about who you are. What do you think about that? Huh? What you think, man?
Well, I'm gonna say, hey, the people, they like to make their own definition for words. as long as I'm a benefit to you, as long as you can gain off of me, as long as I'm being a yes person, they consider you to be a trustworthy person. Once you begin to question things that a person's doing, or you talk to somebody else about, it's like, yo, I don't understand this and this, then you're no longer a trustworthy person, because now they can't have rule over you anymore.
Right.
When a person can't take advantage of you, benefit from you freely, and you not give them any kind of pushback, no kind of objection, then they consider you to be a trustworthy person, as long as you being passive and letting them do what they want to do. But the minute you begin to like question their motives and why, it's like, nah, you know what, I don't think I want to do this anymore. Or you tell them no, you're like, oh, who in your ear? Who telling you things?
Yeah.
You actually different. You being real funny. You're no longer trustworthy. And then the real them was already showing themselves all before, but it was something about, yo, you just being a kind person. You thinking that, I don't know, sometimes you stay in friendships because you thinking that you're gonna rub off on a person. Same thing with romantic relationships. You think that if you stay around the person long enough, that your good values and morals are gonna rub off on them. And it doesn't happen. You just keep getting taken advantage of.
And think about this. You said something powerful. When you have other people in your life that have influence, there's going to be a lack of trustworthiness on both sides, because really that spirit influence really influences how well you trust another person. And that's terrible, because, you know, I asked a question the other day. Asked this person, what do you consider a friend? Now, I did it on purpose because I had to self-evaluate myself. When we say so-and-so is my friend, so-and-so is my friend, and they have a spirit influence. So, for instance, if I turn around and I tell a person, hey, man, I used to be an alcoholic, and I used to binge drink, and I don't want to do that no more. So, as my friend, if you're my friend, and I trust you, please don't influence me with that stuff. Or if I'm trying to do godly things and you're ungodly, then we're going to have some problems. Because then where's the trust in that? Like, God trying to trust me to do the right thing, and I'm hanging around people that's doing the wrong thing. And then where's that trust? And so even in our relationships, that is a killer, man. And I think we don't think about that. Like, you're asking for transparency, dependability, reliability, honesty, and then we hang around people that don't have those attributes. The Bible talks about how that it affects our content and character, and that's crazy. So are we really honest with each other when we're hanging around dishonest people when it comes to their relationship with God? Man, what you think about that?
Say it again.
So think about it. I'm hanging around in relationships, we have so-called friends, or people that have spirit influence in our life. Now, we say that we love God and we're supposed to be godly people. And the people that are in our spirit influence are not subscribing to God, or have attributes or things that do not bring trustworthiness to God. Because that's what it's all about. If I say I'm a Christian, say I love God,
Okay, I follow you.
and I'm supposed to be trusting him. Now, here's the point. But I'm hanging around people that don't trust him, and I'm hanging around people that don't really subscribe, right? So now, how am I going to do better at anything? And I use example. If I was an alcoholic and I don't want to be an alcoholic anymore, why am I hanging around people that do alcohol? If I'm trying not to lie, I'm hanging around people that every time around they lie. Or if I'm trying to see things that don't line up with the Bible, and you hang around people that don't subscribe to that, you're not trustworthy to God, and you're really not trustworthy to yourself, because those things don't line up. And that's my point. It's like those are the things that hurt relationships. And I don't think we really take a look at that, Daniel, like the spirit influence, or let's go a step further, or the spirits that we are introducing ourselves to when we hang around people like that. It's hard to be trustworthy to God, or God even trusts us when we hang around untrustworthy people when it comes to God. That's my point.
I think the biggest thing that we need to slow down and look at when we start interacting with others is to first and foremost define the purpose of this relationship. When you define the purpose of this relationship, if you knowingly know that this person is a dishonest person, or they don't subscribe to God, or whatsoever, and you are, that goes to the whole thing. Because see, it's not just a romantic thing, it's just about light and dark, holy and wickedness. Two can't walk in the same direction unless they agree.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm godly and you're ungodly, what are we agreeing on? So there it goes. You need to define. So then we have to define the purpose of this relationship. So now the purpose of my relationship with this person should be to I don't want to say it the wrong way. I mean, you want them to convert, but the purpose of the relationship is to not to try and show them that they're wrong, but to show them God, show them the godliness and show them the benefit of it. That should be the purpose of the relationship. We can't hang out and be boys if we live two separate lifestyles. There's no way we can be boys and we can hang out and we can be good friends like that. We can have an acquaintance and we could be cordial and all of that, but there's no way we can be boys. There's no way we can enter into a romantic relationship when we walk two different paths. We got two different lifestyles. I'm about God and you still about whatever it is that pleases you. Whenever you get the notion or the compulsion to do something, that's what you do. Yeah. So I think it's about defining the purpose of relationships, and that would keep us out of danger as far as, because how can you trust a snake? Not that the person is a snake or sneaky, but because they have spirits. I operate with the Holy Spirit. I just one spirit. And if you don't have God, you're operating under the influence of several spirits at any given time. How can you trust that?
And I'm gonna take it a step further. Ulterior motives in relationships, even outside of your marriage. So a lot of times, the motive behind these external relationships, we gotta be careful. Because I've been there, right? And I'm gonna hit something very hard, right? So if something I quote unquote think is missing in my relationship, and I will find it somewhere else. That is untrustworthiness. Because I'm trusting that what I'm missing is over here. When that don't line up, that dog don't hunt. So the Bible talks about again, like God knows the heart of man and woman. So God knows your heart. He knows if you really, truly, purely are in relationships for the right reasons. And we don't take credence to that. So then this is what we'll do. We'll blame the other person in the relationship and say that it's them. I've done it. I've heard people do that. No, it's them. It's them. So I had to tell somebody recently, I'm getting away from that. Like, I don't want to blame people. Like, I'm in a profession where we teach, don't blame people. Look at the process. Look at the products that you produce. Look at the stuff, the inputs produces a process that produces a product. So what comes in us, we process, and you get a product. When we start looking at our relationships like that, what are we allowing to come in? Then that defines the process. And then that's the product you're going to get. And that affects a relationship. And then if I don't know your heart, you don't know mine, I don't know what you think, unless you tell me. And I'm telling you right now, that's a recipe for disaster. There would never be no trust in a relationship like that. And I'm now finally figuring that out. Like, I don't even want to waste my time sitting up here trying to figure out who done what and who was wrong and all that. No. I tell you what, here's the bottom line. It ain't got nothing to do with it. It's just really the dishonesty comes in, that untrustworthiness is in the heart, it's in the mind. That's why the Bible says, be ye transformed by renewing your mind in Christ Jesus. Or that's why Jesus talks about these heart matters. He ain't talking about just the letter of the law. He said, basically, the letter of the law is there, but he just comes to make it better and effective. When do we be honest about what are we allowing to come in us spiritually, naturally, body, soul, and spirit? What are we consuming? That's my point. That's what I was trying to bring up.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, well, I mean, Scripture says that the heart is the most deceitful among all things, right?
Yeah.
And who can really know it? So we don't. So and once again, it goes. The Bible says for us, see, we're supposed to acknowledge God in all things. That means we can't even trust ourselves. So therefore, that ought to take out everything. If I can't trust myself without God, without God, I can't trust myself. I can't even trust myself. I still not trusting myself when I'm with God. I'm trusting God. I'm trusting the Spirit to do the right thing, to do the correct thing, to do the appropriate thing. It's not me that's doing it. It's the Spirit that's doing it, because the flesh is always warring against the Spirit, right? So therefore, that means you're not supposed to put any trust in a person at all. If you can't trust yourself at all, then you can't trust another person at all. They're made of the same flesh and iniquity that we're made of. So therefore, you can't put any trust in them. All the trust is supposed to go to God. I'm trusting you, God, that this is the person that you have divinely assigned to be in my life. This is where we mess up with all of these different disappointments and heartbreaks and things that go on in our lives, because you know what? We go walking without acknowledging God in everything. If he's supposed to be the lamp unto my feet and he directs my path, then that means I can trust what he has set for me. He, just like he said, I know the plans that I have for you. Matter of fact, another version says, I alone know the plans that I have for you. If he alone knows the plans, how can we trust? We can't trust ourselves to know what's best for us, because every time we trust ourselves to know what's best for us, we end up going back to the source, being like, why, Lord? How did I get it? I'm sorry that I did my own thing, which means to go, I can't trust me. So that takes it off the table right there about trust. I mean, trusting other people in the sense of, not that we walk around paranoid about everybody's going to be out to get me, but you can't put that type of trust that everybody's just going to have your well-being, your benefit, your well-being as their first priority, because we don't put our well-being as first priority with ourselves. So how are we going to trust somebody else to do that for us?
Right.
Or to have that for us, rather.
Right. And I think it just comes down to acknowledging the fact you said that if you can't trust yourself, then you definitely gonna have problems even trusting other people. And that's true. Even God. And I thought about that. Like it's just crazy. It's like, God, I mean, why am I having a problem with even you? And sometimes I don't even want to acknowledge that. Like, he's supposed to be the source.
Yeah.
And I don't trust him. But he
because we be messing up, man. Where we mess up at is we put, because God says to just come and talk to him. Just talk to him. For some reason, we go to the feeling like we're that comfortable that we can just handle God like how me and you are talking. Mm-hmm. We go to start handling God as if he's just a person. I mean, God is the only faithful thing, the only truthful thing that we can have a relationship with and interaction with. So ain't no need. That's just, when we get mad with God, that's nothing but your flesh, your iniquity. That's nothing but Satan speaking to your mind to say, see, he said he was going to do this and that for you, and look what he did. He didn't do anything, because you know what? You cause consequences from the decisions you make. Just like you get rewards from the decisions you make, you get consequences and repercussions off of decisions. God is just. He said, hey, I give you free will. And he says at the beginning of every day, you got the choice of choosing death or choosing life. You got the choice of choosing curses or choosing blessings. So it's our decisions that we constantly either bring life into us or we're bringing death to us. We're always bringing blessings to us by the decisions that we make, or we're bringing curses to us by the decisions we make. Sometimes they don't happen immediately. Sometimes it comes further down the line. You be like, where did this come from? It may have came from something that you did, a decision that was made 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago, could be 2 years ago. But there's always going to be, it's always on us. And that's why we always got to be mindful. I guess that's why it says that we supposed to begin our day with him. So that way we're in tune with him. We're in agreement with him. We're in collaboration with him for what he wants to transpire in our lives throughout the day. So that I'm talking to the right person. So that I turn my ear to the wrong person. All of that. But we like to go about and do our thing the way we do our thing, especially when we've gotten comfortable in a routine and comfortable with a circle of people. Because if I know I got a circle of people that's dishonest, you know what? I'm dishonest too. Because why would I have a circle of dishonest people around me if I wasn't dishonest too? In some way, somewhere, in some way, you look around your circle. If your circle, however you see your circle, whatever it is in it, that's you. Because otherwise you wouldn't be in it. Birds of a feather flock together, like they say.
Yeah. And I was reading this. It was talking about it was talking about this 1 Corinthians 1:9. God is faithful, reliable, trustworthy, and therefore ever true to his promise, and he can be depended on. By him, you were called into companionship and participation with his son, Jesus Christ our Lord. Now, I was reading that, and I started thinking, in any relationship, like we're supposed to be true to our word and follow through with our actions. And I thought about God was true to his word, he followed through with his actions. Jesus, true to his word, followed through with his actions. You said last time we're supposed to do greater works than Christ did. Now, this is the trustworthiness aspect of that. Even in our relationships as men and our families, are we true to our word and we follow through with our actions? That is, what did Jesus say? I'm about to follow this. He said basically, I'm gonna follow through with my word, the word, and my action is gonna line up with what I'm supposed to be here for. If we did that in our relationships with people, wow, what a wonderful world it would be. But see, now I'm gonna hit this, and this is crazy. Why? Why is it that we have problems following through with our word and be true to our word and our actions? I'm gonna tell you why. Now you tell me what you think. I'm thinking for myself. The reason why I struggle with that, because if you ain't got no word, then there is no word to follow through with. That's how important reading your word is, or getting the word, or knowing who the word is. Who is God? Who is Christ? What is the Holy Spirit about? If I don't know, you sure not gonna know, because I'm not gonna follow through with what. And you just said it. And if you hang around nefarious people, you won't get nefarious actions. If you turn around and don't trust God, then he definitely can't trust you. If you turn around and you get in relationships, like you keep saying, before you get married, you should be preparing yourself before you get married. But if you can't trust yourself then, why are you getting in a relationship? Because you don't trust them either. So trust was already jacked up, because there's no foundation as to what trust really looks like. And the point, that's what I'm trying to say. If that makes sense to you, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I follow you. Yeah, I like, man. How do you? I think, man, it really. I know we've gotten so far away from just using a biblical standard to do things, and having God be implementing God in our lives and having God being in everything. we've gotten so far away from it, because truly all of the trust is you're just trusting God. That's it. There's no trust in a person. There's no trust in what a person says or what a person does. You're trusting God, and in trusting God in all things, you trust that this is the person that you brought in my, and then it's contingent on this. We know that we can trust God, but this is the strong contingency right here. If you go to Deuteronomy 28, when he says, these are my commands, if you obey all my commands and you keep my word and you live by this, you'll be blessed all your days. You'll be just like Abraham. He says, I'll bless who blesses you and I'll curse who curses you, and you will be a blessing. So nothing would be able to come up against you if you're all in trusting God. Don't worry about trusting the things we see with our human optics, because that's imagery. That's an illusion. It'll fool us. It's trickery, because Satan is the god of this world. So therefore, everything is masqueraded in this world. You can't trust it. Don't try and put your trust in it. You put your trust in God and God alone, you'll have the type of friendships that you're supposed to have with people who are looking out for your best interest. You'll end up running into the type of wife that you're supposed to have, the type of girlfriend that you're supposed to have, that's meant for you when you're trusting God. Say, God, you deliver into my life the things that you want me to have. I'm not going to trust myself to think that I know what would be the right choice for me to make. I'm leaving the choices to you, and I'm going to follow your direction. But it's too hard to let go of thinking that we need to be in control and let God have the control. And things would be so much more in tune if we just went into collaboration and agreement with God. I know it sounds like it's far-fetched, but that just goes to show how far removed we are from God when it seems like it's too hard of a thing to do. That just goes to show how far away we are from God when it seems like that's just too difficult to do. It means you need to, you really need to get closer and closer and closer to God. The closer you get to him, the easier it becomes. The more his track record, you'll see, all you got to do is think back to when you trusted him for that job, and he gave you a job that exceeded what you needed and whatnot. You trusted him, and he gave you the good thing, and it was better than what you needed. When you finally trusted him to get out of that bad relationship, he brought somebody along that actually really cared for you. But you had to trust God, and then he provided it. Well, that's what I say. Trust God, and he'll provide it.
Well, this is another note I had. What is God's view of trust? Not my view, his view. Trust in the Lord is a faith that lets us boldly serve. This confidence should infuse our whole being. All of our knowledge, all of our knowledge, wisdom, and will should be saturated in the action-producing assurance of the Lord, not of myself. And this is crazy. That just goes along with how do we effectively communicate with others? That, like letting people know, look, man, I'm saturated with the fact and infatuated with the fact that I need God. I'm nothing. Filthy rags, man. I don't have it. I can't handle it so long. I just, dude, it's just not working. And how much more are we willing to sell out to make that happen? And church people say, I'm gonna sell out for God. Are you a sellout or are you selling out? That's two different things. A lot of us sell out, right? We'll compromise for people, things, stuff. I'll give you an example. You just hit it. Sellout is when it comes to a relationship with God, or you'll sell your fan out when you're compromising. And we do this with God, like we fleece him and say, God, if you give me the job, I'm gonna do your will and way. I'm gonna tithe, and I'm gonna church, and I'm gonna do all this stuff for you. And you
trying to strike a bargain.
Yeah. And then he do it. See, he trusted us. Okay, go ahead. Now he already knows what you're gonna do. And then what we do? Get the job, then we get stupid. Now, the earth is the Lord's footstool. So none of this stuff belongs to you. And I just said this for you. This ain't run a center, man. So when we turn around and we get the stuff, then we have the food. Now you can't trust us.
You know, hey, like you said, God already knows what he was going to do. It made me, when you said that, it made me think about the children of Israel. And when God was talking to Moses and he was telling them, he like, man, that's a real stubborn, stiff-necked bunch of people. I already know when they go over into Canaan, when I allow them to go over into the promised land, they already know they're going to turn their back on me once they go in there and they get comfortable. They're going to get fat. Life is going to be good, and they're going to forget all about me. God already knows, but he still is compassionate enough and caring enough to say, you know what? But I'm going to make a way out for them once they get themselves in trouble. I'm going to be faithful because, hey, he has to honor. He's going to always honor his word. This is the thing. This is another thing about trustworthiness. I think that we get is we get upset with each other. We get upset with people. We get upset with each other. So God says, all right, these are the guidelines. This is how it's going to work with me. You do these things, and we good. I'm going to give you this. But if you do these things that I'm not with, I'm not liking it, yo, these things are going to happen to you. He ain't said, I'm going to do these things to you. He said that these things are what's going to happen to you.
Yeah.
Because it ain't God that's putting the bad things on anybody. He says you're choosing them. If you choose me, this is what I'm going to deliver to you. If you choose that, then this is what's going to happen to you. Because now you either turning yourself over to him or you turning yourself over to Satan. That's the choice when he says choose life or choose death, choose blessings or choose curses. He says either I'm your father or Satan's your father. It's not him that's doing anything to you. You chose the road of, hey, I'd rather deal with the tribulations and all types of problems, my life being problematic, chaotic, and whatnot, because I get to enjoy the benefit of a good time and pleasure in myself and getting some self-gratification. So I'll endure, just going through some headache and trouble and whatnot for that, as opposed to having joy and peace, having absolute peace in your life and having better than self-gratification, because self-gratification is just like the first high. You get that first high, you're always trying to chase it, trying to get it again. So you got to keep trying heavier drugs and different doses of drug and combining different things, trying to search for that. But in God, it's an ongoing peace. And you don't have to keep going back and finding something to find the joy. It's just there.
Yeah. And when as you was talking, I had to think about something. Finding it. And it kind of reminded me that it takes time to build and earn trust in anything you do, even with God. Like it takes time. We don't want to give up no time to learn who he is, to learn why Christ did what he did, learn about the Holy Spirit, learn how to be I was thinking about learn how to be a good father, good husband, good friend. Their companions. So